halfway to what I was going to be. But I'm actually amazed that it's where it's at, and I'm really happy that people are contributing as much as they are. But I'm adjusting my goals, and through everything, advertising, Patreon, and all that, I made enough where I'm like ready to go for another year and try for another year.
Nice.
So, why would you guys want to start supporting my podcasting through Patreon right now, as Walking Dead is just winding down for the season? Well, here's a couple of reasons. I'm covering other shows. Fear the Walking Dead is coming up. Starting Westworld with David. Legion is amazing. It's 2 weeks in right now. If you guys are underwhelmed with The Walking Dead as far as it being intelligently written, I'm not saying it's not. In fact, I totally love this episode. But these shows, Westworld and Legion, are so intelligent and just something to really dig into. We're finishing up Ash vs. Evil Dead. I'm kind of heartbroken because I think that's going to get canceled, but it's such a fun podcast to do.
Yeah.
And occasionally I'm on, doing Game of Thrones, and I might add another show later this year. Maybe we can have Patreon people help me decide which one.
Nice.
That'll be cool. Other reasons why you might want to do it is you can stay connected with other fans during the off season. Karen and I are doing a call-in show this Friday, and we do them once a month, and they're pretty fun, right?
They're great. I love them.
Mm-hmm. They're live, and so off the cuff, and you guys get to come on and talk, raise your hand and you can come and be on it with us. And they're a different flavor. And we also give out Walker Stalker tickets every month. I calculated it, and over 10% of people contributing Patreon so far have won tickets to Walker Stalker so far.
Those are pretty good odds.
Yeah, you have a pretty good chance. And I've gotten to meet some of the people because they show up at the conventions with their tickets that they won and everything. So that's really fun. We're doing a new series, sort of new, called Listener Chit Chat, where every month I pick a different Patreon supporter and interview them for half an hour.
Nice.
And I put it out so all the patrons can hear it. And we've had Mas Thompson from Denmark, Brian Malosh, Des Combs, and we'll pick a new one this week on the call-in show. It's really fun to just get to know a little bit about you guys and your fandom and what else you like in your life and stuff like that.
I love listening to the mods one. It was great.
Yeah, he's really good. So we also have our Zed Heads Unite Facebook group, which is jumping all the time, and they do weekly posts about the shows, Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead, that you can jump on or just talk about any geeky thing. It's really positive in there. And the people have gotten to be really good friends. In fact, a bunch of them are meeting in June in Pennsylvania for a barbecue.
I'm so jealous. I want to go.
Yeah, I know. And eventually there will be a marriage, I know, of people who've met in there. Not
It's
yet,
probably true.
I was noticing today, hopefully it's okay if I say this, but they were talking today about what their wives and husbands call the rest of the group when they refer to the group. It was your internet friends, your people, nerd herd, and the cult were a few.
Said with love.
Right. So there's a lot of perks to contributing. Really what it's about is if you've been enjoying the podcasts and you feel you gotten something out of them and you want to give something back in return and help keep it going, or if you just feel good about supporting them, then this is a good way to do it. The Patreon has been flat for a while. I'm really grateful for it. I don't like to push it all the time because I know you'll get sick of it, but if you like what I've been doing and find value in it and want to show your support, then any amount helps. And if you go to patreon.com/Jason and Karen, you can read about all the stuff I just told you. And if you want to contribute, you can. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Shall we get into the main event?
Let's do it, man.
Attention shoppers. Deadcast Top 5 in 5, 4, 3, 2.
All right, it's Deadcast Top 5 this week. It's our top 5 highlights for The Walking Dead season finale, season 8, episode 16, Wrath.
Wrath. I really liked it. I really liked
good
it.
one, right?
Yes, I don't want to say too much here, but let's just say it was good to get some resolutions.
All right, you love seeing Negan get his throat cut. I know.
But it was just like a tiny little wound that apparently didn't do any sort of permanent damage.
Sadiq just put a little band-aid on there.
He field dressed it. And much like our undead friends on the show, I feel like there's a lot to chew on.
Absolutely. I loved it. I watched it on the big screen at the theater.
You did?
Yeah. And part of afterwards, I was like, man, I really love that. Was part of it just because it was on the big screen? I don't know. But then I watched it again today on my computer and I liked it just as much. So I just think it was an awesome episode.
It was. It was. Which is not to say that there weren't some things that, are.
There always are.
Quintessentially Walking Dead, and we'll get into it.
Right. I also just want to mention in general, I'm glad that the climax of the battle was about 2/3 of the way in so that there was some time for epilogue later, And I think, Scott Gimple, this is his last episode as showrunner. And he said he feels like this kind of wraps up the first 8 years of The Walking Dead, and now we're going on to a new chapter. And you could really feel that, like it just felt like an ending of sorts. And I think he really stuck the landing. So I'm happy for him because as divisive as his writing has been, I've always liked him overall a lot and think he's been great for the show. So it was nice to see him go out with a bang here.
He hands over the reins to Angela Kang.
Yep. So we'll see what happens. I'm
really excited to see what she'll bring to it.
I'm a little nervous. I love Angela Kang and I like her writing, but I don't know. I always feel like it would have been good to have somebody fresh and new come in. So
yeah,
I hope she's great. Yeah, we'll see. All right, what is your number 5?
All right, so let's start with number 5, Eugene the Saboteur. Loved him. I thought he got real redemption. And I have to say, man, I listened to your podcast last week. I wasn't on it, obviously, but you were. And you were right, man. You called it.
I know. I almost feel bad. Like, it made me wonder.
No, they telegraphed it.
Yeah, right?
Don't feel that bad.
Everything I predicted was only from what I saw in the episode, right?
Right.
This doesn't even happen in the comic, just so people know, at least not from what I remember. But it was all from what I saw in the episode. But still, it made me feel like maybe I shouldn't do so much speculation like that in case there were some people who it ruined their surprise. So I'm interested to hear your guys' opinions on that.
Sorry.
What did you think? Like, did you know? Would you have predicted it too?
When you pointed it out, I looked back and I was like, yeah, I should have figured that out. It was pretty obvious. But I didn't. And once you said that, it all made sense. And when it happened, I was like, yes, it worked.
Yeah.
It was great.
It looked cool.
It did. And it was a freaking long journey. And he sold it. So it was wonderful. It did look super, super cool. And honestly, it saved the day. And if it weren't for him, I honestly believe that all of the people we've been following would probably be dead.
Right. And I had been thinking maybe it's a little too late for him. Like, even if he does something really grand, I don't know if I'm going to feel like it was enough given how much bad stuff he's been accomplice to. But once it happened, you know how, sometimes when you actually go through an experience, you don't react the way you think you're going to. And once it happened, I'm like, oh man, he just like turned the tide.
Yeah.
In fact, I think, one of the things about the Saviors is always that they say, oh, we're totally outnumbered by them. Negan has the numbers. So it feels like it had to be something like this to take him out where you could get all of them at once.
Right.
So that was a huge, he other things that, as Rosita pointed out, other things that Eugene's done have led to deaths. So he's really been a problem, if he hadn't helped them before.
Right. And because he's actually engineered some pretty brilliant schemes. And this is certainly
to get them out of the sanctuary. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. This was amazing, and honestly, they really would have been screwed if it weren't for him. So,
Right. Like, yeah, you almost aside or contrary to what I was just saying about how maybe he wasn't redeemable, you could also say, well, if Eugene had not been an insider with the Saviors, then maybe they could have never beat them.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Although it might have worked out differently, who knows how it would have gone.
Right.
But
if they
it's
couldn't have
nice-
escaped the sanctuary, then
Right.
they all just would have been dead. So you just never know.
Exactly. It worked out well in the end.
Yeah.
Huzzah.
Except for the ones who died. But yeah.
Except for them. and by the way, Negan didn't have the kind of exploding gun that killed him because apparently he can't be killed. He only had the kind of exploding gun that hurt his hand.
I don't think the exploding guns killed anyone. I think
they did. It looked like a woman was on the ground after when they showed one scene and a woman's gun went off. You could see one of the female saviors and she was on the ground not moving. Maybe she was stunned.
Well, okay. I mean, I have to go back and look again, but they all fired at once, which is pretty conveniently lucky for Eugene's plan that the plan was everybody fire at once. Because if it wasn't, then like if only a few people had fired, then the rest would have not. But anyway, most of them, I think, just, oh God, it like blew up in their hand and they dropped it and kind of recoiled. But I think most of them did not die.
Well, I also liked that Eugene got his comeuppance from Rosita, who punched him and said, "That's for puking on me." And he acknowledged it and said, "You know what? Fair play."
Hey, what would have been fun is if, not fun, but I think Gabriel got his sight back in the end, right?
I think he did too, yeah.
Right. But this gun blows up right next to his head, so then he's deaf.
Loses his hearing. Dang it.
Oh, well. Can't win them all. Yeah, did you think that was okay? I mean, I think it was that Rosie punched him.
Yeah.
He saved her life twice now, but he's also been a coward and just everything she hates. And I think even while he was pontificating in his usual Eugene speak about how he sabotaged the bullets, the look on her face was like, I fucking hate you and how you talk.
She sort of punched him for all of us. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that was great. So Eugene the Saboteur getting his redemption is my number 5. What is yours?
So you forgive him now for everything you did? Yeah. I guess I do too. As long as I
have a terrible memory.
I know, that helps.
Yeah, it does.
It really does. Like there was this episode of This American Life, I think, where certain people who, for some genetic reason, remember everything. And they hold grudges, and they can't. Relationships are hard for them because they can't get past those pains,
all those mistakes. Yeah. Unlike with me, I'm like the goldfish that swims around and it was like, oh, hey, you.
I'm really thankful you're like that. It helps.
So's David.
Yeah, Jenny too. All right. Number 5 is emotional moments, and not just heavy moments or sad, but just this episode had a lot of moments that had me feeling something.
Yeah.
Some exhilarated, even laughing, just some kind of jolt. And I love that. And so I'm going to go over a bunch of those, and they'll probably touch on both of our 5s, but we don't have to go in depth. I'm just going to touch on it. Okay. So let's see. Rick walking down the gravel road hand in hand with little Carl. Oh, that got me. That's so good.
You know what I thought the entire time, though? I kept being distracted. Like, when did they film that? He probably had to shave for that. I guess they filmed that afterwards.
Yeah.
I guess he had to shave afterwards. Yeah.
Who's that little
person.
kid? How many kids did they have to get before they found one that looked like Carl from the back? Maybe it's not that hard to look like Carl from the back.
It was super cute.
Yeah. And Rick and Sadiq having the conversation about how it happened. Yep. I was glad because Rick would want to know, and it was a good conversation.
Yep.
Ezekiel trying to be a little more realistic this time before going into battle. We're going to risk losing everything. And Jerry's like, we're not losing shit. Jerry. That was really fun because
I like that.
he kind of cracked like Ezekiel, like, okay, man, you know, he's just being a bud. And that was a good scene there. Seeing Jared, zombie hallucination Jared.
With his open back.
Yeah. Even as one of Morgan's hallucinations, he's a fucking jerk.
Yeah.
And I was happy that he came back. I'm like, yeah, they found a way to sneak Jared in. That's so cool. Maybe Ghost Jared can cross over to Fear the Walking Dead too.
Did you ever see American Werewolf in London?
I have. It's been a while, but there are hallucination characters in that too, right?
Yeah, they come back and they're a bunch of smartasses. It's hilarious. Yeah, it
gotta watch
really
that
holds
again.
up. It's a great movie.
Okay. Yeah, that I remember that being good and gross.
Yeah.
The bullet thing, just the way that Negan was counting down, and before you ever saw Savior, he already got to 2, and then between 2 and 3, that you could see them all coming over the edges all around, which was pretty impactful. And even though I had predicted that Eugene was going to do that, I think by that time they had me doubting it, in part because Gabriel tried to get away and warn them. And I'm like, well, Gabriel was his partner. Like he said, follow my lead. And so if Gabriel knew the bullets were sabotaged, then why did he try to get away? I think the main reason was to cast doubt, and it worked on me a little bit.
Yeah.
Like maybe Eugene didn't do that. But then when they all fired off and it just worked better than I thought it would. You know how sometimes on The Walking Dead, they have a plan for a cool moment and they don't quite pull it off. But this one, I thought they really pulled off really good.
It's interesting. So when he counted down 3, 2, 1, our people didn't fire.
I know, they were just like waiting to be shot.
Huh.
Rick might have, yeah, it's 3, 2, Rick's all 3, 2, 1, go. Have you been watching Ash vs. Evil Dead at all?
No, we haven't caught up.
It reminds me of a moment that just happened. So funny. I can't say it would be a spoiler. Okay, next, the splinter group of saviors comes in to attack Hilltop, and Tara grabs Alden and a couple of the other saviors that had stayed behind with them to go get him, and it looks kind of hopeless. And then you see all these explosions, and I was like, what? It's confusing, which is how you're supposed to be. And then you realize it's the Oceansiders, and I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I liked it.
Then you see Aaron leading the
Molotov
cocktails,
leading the charge. And I mean, after the moment's over and I'm thinking about it, I'm like, oh, so all the stuff we've gotten from the Oceansiders so far was kind of just for this 10 seconds of battle where they beat up this like splinter group of saviors that probably would have given up anyway once they figured out Negan was dead.
We're going to get into that because
okay.
Funny you should mention that, but go ahead.
All right. Well, okay. So then what else? Maggie. I mean, this is probably a top, but just when Rick decides to save Negan, and Lauren Cohan did such a good job there. No, he can't. He killed Glenn. We have to make it right. Yep. That's not over until he's dead. I just thought she did so good. And even though I agree with Rick, I was really moved by her performance, and I can understand it because she's been motivated by revenge ever since that bat hit Glenn's head.
Yes.
And I can understand it. So
I can too.
So I was really moved by that. And the last one is just when Rick responded to Carl's letter at the very end. You made me remember, you showed me the new world and all that. So good stuff.
It is good. Mm-hmm. As a dad, it must be nice to see the relationship between him and Carl. They had such a nice relationship most of the time.
It is. I mean, I wish Carl didn't have to leave the show. I don't really think he had to leave the show to get this ending. I think it was a contract thing, and they were just saying it was the story.
Yeah.
They could have made it. But I don't know. I guess it's more, it makes some sort of sense that if your son died, that you're really going to try to honor his legacy. So it makes some sense. But it's very sad.
All right.
All right.
So my number 4, let's talk about these Oceanside folks. I loved seeing them. I love the Molotov cocktails. I thought super clever. Of course, Molotov cocktails. Didn't even think about that. They have torches, which I thought was hilarious. Now, the timing of their arrival felt a little too perfect. And maybe you can argue that Tara and Alden and the rest of the saviors could have. I'm sorry, the rest of the the defected saviors, the ones that hadn't defected from the other group. So we'll call them new Hilltoppers. Alden, Tara, and the other guys, they could have stopped the saviors from attacking Hilltop anyway. They were sort of undercover. They had guns trained on the saviors. They may have been able to, they had the element of surprise. They may have been able to stop the attack anyway. But it was sort of funny and a little bit Deus Ex Machina that the Oceanside people, jump out of the bushes and here we are to save the day.
That's okay. I don't mind. I mean, that's like Han Solo coming in to save Luke so he can blow up the Death Star. It's a good cinematic moment.
It all comes down to Star Wars.
Spoilers.
If anybody hasn't seen Star Wars, just see Star Wars, would you? All right, there you go.
Yeah. Okay.
So that was it.
Good. All right. So let's see. Ambushing the ambush. So the whole thing about last episode, we had them send the fake plan via Gregory to lure Rick in. And I like that at least they said, okay, well, Negan didn't rely on Rick to just go to that spot where the X was. He relied on him to, and I had to kind of figure it out because it was like it's like they didn't know that he knew that they would know that he knew or something like that. But
right.
I thought about it a little more. So Negan figured that Rick wouldn't trust Gregory's intel, so he would scout ahead and he would find that roadblock with some saviors, and he just assumed that Rick and company would kill all of them.
Right.
And then they
were sacrifices that Negan felt like he had to make.
Because he doesn't like blue-haired dudes. He's just like little hippie ravers.
Blue hairist.
No, I liked it. No, because they were Simon's guys, which was kind of a flimsy excuse for a guy who's supposed to, well, he sees people as resources, so I guess sometimes you have to sacrifice your resources. Anyways, so then they thought, okay, so they'll kill all these guys, and then they'll find a map that says, no, Negan is actually here with an X or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Negan
New
will
plan.
be here. And so, he figured since they would have had to kill all those people to get it, that they would trust that that was the right information and go to that spot. And it was in a valley, of sorts, so that meant the saviors could surround it and have like the right better positioning, get the upper hand. And if you're going to surround somebody, it's good if they're a little down below, if you're going to all be firing at them versus straight across, because you might hit each other. So that was how it came about. And then I liked the whistling all around. And I mean, I think Rick probably, if he was super smart, he wouldn't just bring his whole army into one place. They should have still split up into groups or something.
Yes, exactly. Or send a scout ahead or something like that. Mm-hmm.
But they want to keep it simple enough to be able to execute this plot. So then, as we already talked about enough, they sabotaged the bullets. So they all, their guns blew up in their hands and injured them all and killed some of them, I guess. And then Rick and company were able to go and finish them off. And I like that they didn't kill them all, and I also liked that we didn't realize it, but most of them were seeing what was going on with Rick and Negan, so they got to witness Rick, what looked like, kill Negan and then decide to save him. So it was good that they all got to see that firsthand and not just hear about it later.
Yep. They saw him demonstrate mercy.
Yeah, that's right. To their leader. And then they're just all surrendering. This girl Laura that used to be so nasty and mean. She's like, okay, we're done. Let's plant flowers. We're all good, right?
It's a beautiful day. Hey, everybody. It's a beautiful day. let's fix our windows. Yeah.
We're friends.
I mean, I guess then we trust that they're all going to go now. They're going to embrace this new day.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't trust her based on what we've seen.
I don't think I'd trust her either. I wouldn't trust any of them, quite frankly. I mean, I'm not sure I'd kill them, but I certainly wouldn't trust them. I think what I would have done a long time ago, 3 seasons ago, I would have said, you know what? There's a big fat ruffian here who's making life terrible. We've moved before. We found new places. Let's all just leave. That's what I would have done.
I've been
run for the hills
ever since we encountered Negan, and like they went in and killed all those people in that outpost. I'm like, well, when a guy like Negan comes along and he's got some strength because he has people around him who are his enforcers,
right?
And he's trying to get a lot of people to work for him, then probably many of those people that work for him are victims of circumstance. And I think that's borne out, like this Alden guy. There's more of the saviors. Like they keep also making this distinction between the workers. So it almost feels like the workers are almost like the Woodburyans,
Yeah.
I mean, they know a little bit more because Negan is much more upfront about what kind of a guy he is than the governor ever was. But still, I think a lot of them would choose not to be there if they had the choice. So I think that probably a lot of them are trustworthy, and then there's probably another huge group that can be rehabilitated that might have inclinations towards being with a guy like Negan, but could be rehabilitated. So I think if they're really going to try to build a society, that it's cool to see anyway on a show versus just running away from the problem. So I like it, but I'm sure that some of them are just total asshats and can't be trusted. Like this Laura chick, I wouldn't trust her.
Yeah, but it seems like she's all in now. So, is it my turn?
Sure. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I don't.
Okay, so along those same lines, I'm going to just tell you my number 3, which is War is Over. New World begins now. Yay! After 3 seasons, actually about 2.5 seasons. It's only been about 3 months for them. Rick declares that there is a new world order, which is grace. Peace and fairness will prevail. The new world begins, which is an amazing thing. And I really, really like that. I like that they brought Rick to this point. Sadiq actually had a lot to do with bringing Rick to this point. How Sadiq earlier had told Rick about how Carl died. It was a very sweet moment. And how Carl had died paying respects to a woman he never knew by killing the walkers, freeing their souls. And then Sadiq says, he reminds Rick that when people die, all that's left are their ideas, which is kind of great. And
so what about Jared? What ideas did he leave? Fuck you.
Yeah, there. That's
Anyways.
it. He has an open back policy.
That was pretty good, where all the zombies chewed them all up. Yeah, it's true. See, I guess it's true that I guess you could say it's true that when people die, all they leave are their ideas, but many of those ideas are not very good.
Yeah, exactly.
Including maybe the idea that you need to kill all the walkers and risk your life.
Right.
Which I don't think Sadiq actually does.
If he's looking down and he sees the new herd that we've just
seen, he's like, we got to kill all those.
All those. Okay, Sadiq, you first.
Yeah, go ahead. Have fun.
Oh God, talk about a cardio plan. That would be that'd be rough, man. So, so the New World Order, I'm just happy that's finally here. I'm really, really happy. I feel like this time has been coming for a long, long time, and the show is going to be better for it. So some forward momentum. I was watching the show and David came into the room yesterday, and it was during a commercial break, and he said, so? And I said, I think something is happening. I think we're having some forward momentum. And he's like, yay! He knows that I've been feeling like it's been stuck kind of zooming in a circle around and around and around for a long time. So it's super nice that it seems like it's finally done. Done enough.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting to me that at the halfway point when Carl was dying, he told Rick his ideas about how there's got to be something after, be kind and all this. And Rick promised he would strive towards that and then proceeded to become a psychomaniac for a little while there, right? And
super quick.
It's because I feel like, in the real world, I would want to see what we're supposedly going to see now, but on a TV show they need to keep it dramatic, so it almost feels like a cheat by Scott Gimple. He's like, all right, yeah, we're gonna do this peaceful new world where everything's gonna be like the Garden Channel, but let me have my last 8 episodes where Rick's a maniac, and now it's all gonna be nice. Here you go, Angela Kang. Have fun making a dramatic TV show.
Good luck.
So hopefully it'll be fine.
Well, there always is the Maggie component, which I'm sure we'll talk about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. They found a way to
drama it up.
Fuck some shit up. Okay. My number 3 is Negan's fate. And here's a clip of Rick and Negan one-on-one, their last few moments together.
Now listen to me, Shane. There is still a way back from this. Nothing has happened here. We're gonna lay down our guns. We're gonna walk back to the farm. Together. Back to Lori. Back to Carl. Put this all behind us.
That was the wrong clip. Sorry. Rick kind of has an MO there.
I didn't even remember that he did that. Damn. Okay.
So if Rick ever comes up to you, hey, everything's going to be fine, you might want to take a couple steps back.
Just give me 10 seconds. I'll tell you how.
I'll tell you how nice it's going to be. It's all going to be nice.
Just put your bat down while I explain it.
Right. Don't mind this knife in my hand. This piece of sharp glass.
You're absolutely right. Is that season 1?
2. Yeah,
That's right.
When Shane became Zombie Shane.
He became Zombie Shane, and then Carl killed him.
That's right. And that time there was no one there to patch him up. If Rick would have said, okay, save him. But it wouldn't have maybe worked so well with Shane because they couldn't really lock him up after something like that.
No.
And I don't think he would have been any better.
No.
If he wasn't locked up. He was a problem.
What show is he on now?
Punisher.
That's right. That's right. I haven't seen it.
It's good.
Is it good?
Yeah, he's good. The show's pretty good. Yeah, I think it's definitely worth watching. Yeah, it's pretty violent. Okay, so anyway, Negan's fate. So, for a second there, I forgot about this thing with Shane. So I thought, oh, he's trying to convince Negan of Carl's dream. And Negan looks all emotional, which I'm not sure I bought. But it seemed like they were trying to say that maybe he was considering it because he stopped his countdown.
Yes.
Yeah. And then, this happened in the comics. It was very similar to this.
Oh.
Same thing. Rick was trying to placate him and then slit his throats. And even in the comic, I thought, oh, fuck, they killed Negan. But he did that. I had forgotten. And then he did it. And there was so much blood coming out. I immediately remembered the comic, but I thought, oh, maybe they're going to kill him in the show because that looks pretty serious.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, I know. Really, when you slash somebody in the throat, normally they don't live. There's I think there's a jugular vein right there that if you
think they're
grab
on the sides, right? If you get maybe right in the middle, you'll miss the jugular.
He was real precise.
I know. I don't know.
Surgeon Rick went in for just a flesh wound. And then but thankfully he had Sadiq there, and Sadiq is like a miracle worker. He's like, no, I got this.
Yeah, no problem. This happens all the time.
Evidently it does.
And, it turns out this was the way to have peace with Negan that Carl wanted. not, I mean, Carl wanted everyone to be peaceful, but I really don't think Negan was ever going to get there. In fact, after he gets his throat cut, he says, Carl didn't know anything or something like that.
I think he said it just like that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not sure that keeping Negan as a prisoner is such a great idea, because it seems to me like a lot can go wrong. I mean, maybe there you go, Angela Kang. There's some drama for you.
I love it. Some of my favorite stuff from the comic has come out of this.
Okay.
So it's, of course, I was saying that before Negan ever came on the show too. So who knows?
Right.
But I was wondering if they could really sell it, and I think they did. Here's what Rick and Michonne said together. I don't even know which one's talking when, but here's the script. Talking to Negan, you'll be an example of what this will be. We're not going to kill you. We're not going to hurt you. You're going to rot in a cell for the rest of your life, day after day. You're going to be evidence that we're making a civilization, something like what we had, something we're going to get back. And you get to watch it happen. And you get to see how wrong you were about what people can be and what life can be. You alive is going to help show people that things have changed, that keeping your breathing earns another way, or keeping you breathing earns another way, a better way. That's the part you'll play. So after this, maybe you're good for something. So I like that they get to kind of needle him and rub it in, but also they get to like take the high road and be peaceful and civilized at the same time, you know?
Yeah.
So it did feel like they're not really letting him off the hook, because he's just going to be rotting in a cell and having to watch this society because he thinks people are resources and that you have to be dominate them and basically treat them like slaves. And so he's going to have to sit there and watch that he's wrong. Although what he is probably going to see is a lot of people fighting each other and getting eaten by zombies, come to think of it.
Do you think they're going to pipe in terrible music and make him listen to it?
Yeah, Easy Street. That's
going to be Daryl's contribution.
It does. I could see where people might think, after all Negan's done, they let him live. Like Rick killed saviors and everything. But I just like this example of them. I mean, this idea of them leaving him alive as an example for a more civilized society. Something I like about that.
They have a cell, and
right.
and I have to say though, everyone they've put in the cell has gotten out somehow.
Did they put the wolf in there?
Yeah, and didn't the
I don't remember.
The wolf get out? Who let the wolf out?
But who let the wolves out? Ow! Morgan built that.
Yes.
And God, I don't fucking remember. But I was thinking, oh well, Alexandria is gone, so they can't use that cell. But then I think at the end we see they're back in Alexandria. I think they have Negan in Alexandria, and I think Gabriel is in his old burnout church. So I guess they're gonna rebuild it, right?
Yep. HGTV episode. Gabriel rebuilds his church, and Alden helps with building like a windmill. It's totally an HGTV show.
Alden is gonna like start his own thing where he like remakes people's homes, and then they get to reveal it to them. Oh my god!
Oh my god!
My church looks so good. That's gonna be where the drama is. It's
The Walking Dead, off the grid. I like it. I'd watch it. I'd totally watch that. That's the show I want to see.
They say they're going to expand it.
Yeah.
Scott Gimmel's in charge of the franchise.
All right.
Number two.
Did you, in your list of scenes that moved you, did you include Dwight's journey?
I didn't, but I liked that. I liked this was, I'm not loving Daryl scenes that much lately. I don't really dislike them, but I don't feel as engaged by his character as I have. But in this one I did, where he goes, I forget what he said, but
I loved it.
What did he say?
Yes. So this was when afterwards Daryl brought Dwight out to the woods, and Dwight is like, man, I'm so sorry. I know what I did was wrong and I deserve to die. And Daryl finally tosses him his keys. And he says to him, "Go find her,"
Mm-hmm.
and
He
meaning,
goes, "Shut up. You
Yeah,
go, and you keep going, and don't you ever come back here again. If I see your face around here again, I'll kill you." Which I thought was really good. Yeah, you go out there and you make it right. Find her.
go find
So it's
her.
all like a pep talk / threat.
Yeah, exactly. Threatening pep talk.
Go find her. Come on, you can do it. And if you come back here, I'll kill you.
I'll kill you, but have fun.
Good luck.
Go find your wife. So I like that he went back to the cabin and he found the note where I love that, that said on the front D, and then it had the word honeymoon, and then it had the symbol for infinity. The infinity honeymoon is so sweet. And I'd like to think that eventually he finds his wife Sherry and that they can have their infinity honeymoon. And
I didn't know for sure what that meant. Like, was it a callback to something? I know he thought she might be at that house and he left pretzels and beer for her. But I don't think we ever heard them use honeymoon or saw the infinity sign. So I'm not sure what
here's
does it
what I
mean?
think. Here's what it means. I say it means that wherever they honeymooned, that's where she's going to. And she's going to stay there and wait for him forever.
He's
And
like, I got to get to Fiji. God.
fuck. No, they honeymooned. See, and here's a big crossover thing. Fear the Walking Dead. Maybe they honeymooned in Austin, Texas. They went to South by Southwest. And they honeymoon in Austin, Texas. And so now he's going to head to Austin, Texas to find Sherry and meet up with the Fear the Walking Dead people. I don't know.
Did you watch
It's a
Fear?
theory.
The first
I
one?
watched the first 30 minutes and then I had work I had to get done.
Okay.
So, but the first 30 minutes were amazing, by the way.
Yeah. I'm not going to give away too much, but just in the first few minutes, hopefully you guys all watch that. You see not only Morgan, the crossover character, but also Jesus and Rick. And to
Carol.
me, and Carol. And it felt like when Laverne and Shirley used to go and show up on Happy Days, you know?
Right, exactly. This is weird. Worlds colliding.
Yeah.
Yep. And
Anyways.
I love that he was just sitting there and they keep knocking on the door and he's like, what about I want to be alone confuses you?
Oh, here comes another. That's it. I'm going across the country.
Yeah. Rick tells him, well, you can hide, but you can't run. And he's like, oh, run.
Oh, run. That's a good idea. Run, Forrest. But yeah, just so you guys listening know, in case you didn't realize, I decided to do 2 separate episodes instead of trying to cram the Fear season 4 premiere together with the finale. So Lucy and I are going to be recording the Fear the Walking Dead season 4 episode 1 episode tomorrow, and we'll put that out as a separate Walking Dead cast episode.
Nice. Oh, I cannot wait to watch the rest of it because from what I saw the first 30 minutes, I was like, yep, I'm in.
Oh, cool. Right on.
I can't wait. So back really quickly to Dwight and his journey. It seems to be over in the show. It seems like that was the end of it. We got to see him smile, and that was a lovely, fitting ending. And I will miss Austin Emilio. I thought he was wonderful.
What? You just assume he's off the show? Really?
Yeah.
We haven't heard
Daryl
that.
just told him to don't show your face around here anymore. He gave him a truck and he gave him car keys, and now he's going to find Sherry. You
yeah,
think
and
he's
people
coming
just
back?
listen to each other on this show.
Huh?
Dwight is the one who rebelled against Negan, so he's just going to listen to Daryl.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I mean, I'm just saying. I wouldn't take it for granted. I don't know.
Okay, so here's my prediction. My prediction is that we're not going to see Austin Emilio anymore.
All right.
That's
maybe
my prediction.
It'd be interesting. I mean,
although
everybody seems to come back. Even Morales came back, so I doubt it. I doubt we'll never see him again.
Who went out with crud? Who went to Oceanside? What's his name? Aaron. Who went with Aaron at one point? The two of them were and the time before that.
Enid.
And he just left and that was it. Remember? He wore glasses.
The black guy?
Yeah. And he wore glasses.
That was Tara and Keith.
Tara and Heath.
Yeah.
Tara and Heath. Sorry.
Well, that's because what's his name? Oh, fuck, I forgot the actor's name, but he got all these acting jobs.
That is true.
He got in the movies.
But if you're asking for a character to suddenly disappear out of the blue,
they want him back. If he would come back on the show, they would have him back. So I don't know. I doubt it. Maybe you're right. It'd be interesting. I mean, I actually think that would be pretty cool if they just let a character have an ending of sorts.
Yeah.
But I predict Dwight will be back next season.
Do you? Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. Hey, you know what? I'll bet you a beer.
All right. I'll take that bet.
Okay. Okay.
Because I would say, just throwing a number out there, 75% chance. So I think there's 25% chance he's gone for good.
That's worth a beer.
Yeah. Yeah, I liked that whole segment. Yeah, cool. Okay, my turn.
Yep.
So Morgan, by the end of this episode, Morgan decides to go live in Dumpsterville. And I was trying to figure out what his trajectory was. I learned some things in the Fear episode, Fear the Walking Dead, but I don't think I'm going to try not to include that. I just want to do what we saw here.
What?
Yeah, in the last 30 minutes, you learned something pretty interesting.
Very interesting. Okay.
Okay. So he's in killing mode when this episode starts. Everybody else is kind of funny because they're all focused, and then all of a sudden he comes up. I gotta kill. And,
he almost kills Henry.
Yeah, almost kills Henry, and I think that jarred him. Oh, I almost killed a little kid. And he's talking to Rick. We are worse than we were, me and you, which it's good that he recognizes that. Even about Rick, like the way he brings up how Rick promised all those guys he would bring them back and then proceeded to kill them all. He goes, well, that was what had to happen, but still, dude. And he says we both lost everything, but he's also said that everything worth anything has to do with people. And Rick has not lost all his people. He's got his daughter, Judith. He's got Michonne. Has bonds with other people. Morgan has lost his family, and I'd say he has a pretty strong bond with Carol, but other than that, I don't know.
Henry?
Yeah, a little, and even Rick. But I'd say he just feels more separate than Rick,
Yeah.
And so I could see, plus he's crazier too.
Yeah.
So I could see why he would just want to go. But I also think it's a little bit like Carol when she left. He doesn't want to have to lose anyone else.
Right.
I think that's why he left. So.
And maybe to punish himself, and maybe he doesn't feel like he deserves happiness.
Uh-huh.
And there's all kinds of complicated reasons.
But then another little wrinkle with him is Jesus comes up, and he was already kind of shaken by his killing of that, or almost killing Henry. And Jesus says, you want to keep these people safe, and you think you need to kill other people to do that. That's not exactly safe for you, which ultimately may not be safe for the people you're trying to keep safe. I think what he meant by that is when Morgan starts killing people, he goes crazier.
Yeah.
And that's when he really just gets out of control and almost kills little boys. And then Jesus continues, but you can stop people without killing them. I mean, you almost stopped me, which I love that he said almost, like, you couldn't quite stop me, but
right, exactly.
I'm pretty special.
Yeah, he's Jesus.
I have a simple proposal, something to try. This end for the dead and this end for the living. All things will get better. And I think Morgan took that to heart. I mean, Jesus had to remind him again on the field. You don't have to.
Hey, remember? Pointy end for the Zeds. Blunt end for the humans.
So then Morgan clocks him and doesn't kill him. And so anyway, yeah. He keeps going back and forth. I don't know. It's getting a bit old. But Morgan's always great to watch.
The Lenny James, the actor, he's just wonderful. He has very kind eyes. I like watching him.
That's interesting. Yeah, cool.
Okay. All right, is it my number one?
The one thing about him that I think of is when I did the panel that had, it was him and Kari Payton and Cooper Andrews. And at one point I said that Jerry and Morgan were like the polar opposites, because Jerry is always Mr. Sunshine and Morgan always has a dark cloud over his head. And the audience kind of bristled at that.
Oh.
Ooh. And he seemed a little taken aback too. And I'm like, right away, I just looked over at the audience and I go, no. Don't get me wrong. I think Lenny James is amazing. I'm not going to take any of that. But, I mean, come on. He has a dark cloud over his head.
You guys been watching the show?
Yeah, right. They didn't seem to like that. Anyway,
all right.
Okay, what's your number one?
My number one is Maggie's plan. Dun, dun, dun. Back at the office at the end, and there is Maggie in the Hilltop office, the weird-looking Hilltop office, petting her cat and saying, "We'll show Rick and Michonne. We need to get strong, and then we'll show them." She didn't have a cat. She was only metaphorically petting a cat. With Jesus, we didn't get to see his face. We just saw the shot behind him, but it was a funny shot. And she says to him something like, "You were right about not killing the saviors." And he's like, "Oh, yeah." And then she goes on to say, "But Rick was wrong. Rick and Michonne were wrong about not killing Negan. And we have to get stronger, and then we'll show them." And then Daryl steps out of the shadows, and I didn't know Daryl was in the room. He emerges from the shadows.
I kind of wondered if they knew.
Yeah.
Oh, Daryl's there.
Oh,
I agree with you. And they're all.
Ah! Yeah, and I have sort of kind of issues with this. Here's my issues. I mean, I get Maggie's been pissed off at Negan and vengeful ever since, and rightly so. He killed Glenn. That's I get it. I understand, and you know what? I even agree with her. I get that Daryl hates Negan. Daryl was tortured by Negan when he was a prisoner. He was naked. He was forced to listen to that song over and over. That's some bad torture. And he really hasn't been the same since. I don't think he's said 50 words on the entire show since then. I totally get that. And even though he was kind to Dwight, I could see where he could separate. Okay, Dwight, he showed mercy too. I get it. Dwight had some redeeming things and Negan did not. But Negan's locked up. Negan's not going anywhere. He is locked up. It's not going to be a fun life. So I'm not sure what their real problem is. That I understand that they're pissed off that they didn't kill him, but he is going to have a terrible life being locked up in this prison. So I think I don't understand if they're really talking about betraying Rick and Michonne. I can't see that they would really be that much. I don't see that they would really turn on Rick and Michonne like that so quickly. I think you could talk to them first. How about try talking to them? How about using your words? And maybe by showing, maybe they're talking about, then we'll have a nice sit down with tea. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
That would be super boring, for one thing.
That would be the way to do it. And my way is usually the boring way, but it's the right way.
And I also think, people in our society have strong disagreements about capital punishment. You know? So it's believable that people have different viewpoints on that.
True.
And I could see Daryl being kind of on the capital punishment side.
Sure.
Maggie is just totally driven by emotion and wanting revenge. And Jesus, he's been pragmatic. I mean, we've seen him convince people not to kill so much, but he's not like Morgan was in his all life is precious phase. Even when Maggie shot that one savior, I think he was on her side about that. But Tom Paine said as much.
Betraying Rick and Michonne. I don't get it.
Yeah. Well, I think really Maggie's the engine behind that, and she has the most emotional stakes for that too. She's the one whose husband got beaten to death right in front of her. And Jesus, people are like, would Jesus really do that? And I could see that question being valid, but it's debatable because he's also been a huge supporter of Maggie's ever since Maggie showed up. And he doesn't even know these other people that well. He hasn't even spent that much time with them. So, I mean, it's not like, oh, yeah, I'm sure Maggie would definitely do that and nothing else. But the fact that she did do it, I don't see as being, totally like, whoa, that was out of left field. I mean, yeah, they need to create some drama for the show now that Negan's gone. So looks like this is one way they're going to do it. And I think it's really uncomfortable for some people to see two characters that are supposed to be the good guys, all of a sudden they're pitting them against each other. But that's what writers do. They make us feel uncomfortable. That's their job. And then they find ways of resolving that either through tragedy or other kinds of good resolutions. If it was all just about making us feel comfortable all the time, then it wouldn't be a horror drama show. It would be Garden Channel.
But you still have to be logical about it. And I just can't see that they would ever betray Rick and Michonne like this. I mean, are they really plotting against them? Hopefully, I feel like maybe what they mean by we'll get stronger and then we'll show them. Maybe they're talking about showing
it's pretty vague.
It is pretty vague. Maybe they're talking about showing in some sort of other way. And also, by the way, I didn't see Jesus agreeing to be part of it. He just sort of sat there.
Yeah,
it was Daryl who agreed to it.
The fact that Maggie said we need to get stronger and bide our time and wait for our moment made me think that she was preparing for the eventuality that she might have to go up against Rick. But I don't think she's definitely planning to go to war with Rick or something like that. I think she just wants to have, it's kind of like when countries want to have nuclear weapons. They don't want to have to use them, but they just want to have that strength so that they can be a player in the game and everything.
It seems to me that it would be fairly easy for Maggie to bide her time. La la la. One day when she's visiting Alexandria, she happens to go down to the cell by herself, take out a knife or a gun or whatever, and just end him.
Yeah.
That's not that hard.
That could be a way to do it. Yeah.
That's how I would do it.
Or send Jesus in. He's a ninja.
He is. He could MacGyver his Negan's death.
Yeah. Well, I think from what I saw in the listener feedback and stuff, a lot of people agree with you. They thought it was out of character.
Good.
Okay, my turn. So number one is the New World and Walking Dead going forward, and you kind of already covered a lot of that. There's this giant herd, so that's obviously going to be a part of it. The biggest herd of zombies they'd ever seen.
Yeah, man. Eyes on the prize. It's a good thing they stopped fighting each other because just like in Game of Thrones, the real threat may be that giant mass of zombies that it looked like it was about 20 football fields worth of zombies down there.
Yeah.
That was a lot.
It's funny how they kept, it was far enough away that they're like, and just look over there. They just could refer to it, see what's coming,
Right, exactly.
A couple more weeks and
that's what we're going to
get. Have to deal with those guys. We've got saviors living with non-saviors. Alden is living at the hilltop. I was glad that Maggie gave him the nod because I trust him. And I think it would be really stupid if he becomes untrustworthy.
I like him very much. There's something about his voice that I find I very much like.
And he's reading Georgie's book, A Key to a Future. I guess the other saviors they went back to Sanctuary. They're rebuilding it. They're going to try to make something out of it. And I think Tara and Rosita were there at the end helping them. Is that right? They were at the Sanctuary? Yeah.
Because Laura was there and that's where she would be, right? And
seemed a little too nicey nice. For everything that people have been through, but I guess that's the point.
It's super nice. And by the way, did you see all those eggs?
Yeah.
Where are these? Where are these big
saviors
chickens?
They're well stocked.
I guess they are. So they seem to have supplies. They've got shipments of glass and they're all going to work together. Kumbaya.
And Rick invited Jadis to come back because he's building the future and he needs garbage artists.
And
Decorate.
her name is not Jadis.
It's Anne.
And
Yeah, I'm glad that, because I figured Jadis probably wasn't her real name. So, but I question bringing her into it because she's only shown herself to be a traitor so far a couple of times.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen her go through some tragedy, but that doesn't take away how she's acted.
But she knows some stuff, and she at least knows that there's a helicopter.
Right.
Available.
Yes, that's another thing that hopefully will play into it. I thought that helicopter was going to be taking Morgan to Texas, but nope. Yeah, I think we've pretty much covered everything else. So what about notes? Any notes?
I think you covered most of my notes. I did like at the very end when Rick was sitting by the tree and he was saying, "My mercy prevails over my wrath," which is lovely. I've read
sort of. I mean, he did slit the guy's throat, but
not all the way through. It was a very precision
just
cut.
a nip.
There's this book I've referred to called A Paradise Built in Hell by a woman named Rebecca Solnit about looking at major catastrophes in the world and how people actually come together in surprising and wonderful ways. Sure, there's some crappiness, but there's a lot of amazing ways that humans come together. And I'm of the optimistic mind that, and I've seen it because I lived through the 1989 earthquake in Santa Cruz. And I believe that people come together in very good ways. So I think that if there is a disaster, people are going to err on the side of goodness. So I'm ready to see that side come through. Just a little bit. I mean, I know there needs to be drama. But can
every single episode there needs to be.
I know, but the drama can come in other ways. Drama, you can achieve drama in lots of different ways. It doesn't have to be always there's a crazy strong man out to get you. It can be, hey, we're running out of water. Hey, we've gotten a virus. I mean, I know they've done that before, but there are some other ways too. So there's some cool drama that can come out of this, and I'm very excited to see what happens.
Yeah. All right. I'm glad you're excited to watch the rest of the show. It's good. Or keep watching in season 9. The only note I haven't covered is I think it was actually pretty cool that no major character died.
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
Yeah, and it's not because, I don't want to see any major character dies. I've said many times one of the things I like about the show is it has the courage to kill off the characters, but I liked them to mix it up. And this episode was really, really good and didn't need that. They didn't have to do that to like make it more dramatic or anything. It just was awesome. And it was fine that no one, I thought Gabriel might die. I thought Eugene actually might die. Nobody died.
Hard to believe that Negan spared them both. I mean,
well, he tried to shoot Gabriel.
Yeah, right, exactly. But he spared Gabriel when, he had the baseball bat when Gabriel jumped out of the truck and they all went. I mean, he had the baseball bat. I thought, this is when Gabriel dies. Nope, look at him go.
He just wanted to do it in front of Rick for some reason, which is kind of dumb.
Yeah, exactly.
Who cares? Rick's like, whatever.
That guy?
My babysitter. So mean. All right, that's cool. Let's take a little break. There is more to come. Stay with us.
You picked a fine time.